How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to be redoing my 6-year-old's chores for 2025, and I'm just going to show you what her new chores are and how they fit into her morning and evening routine. So like I've shown you guys before, I am using the daily routines for kids from my autopilot workbook. I will put a link to that in the description down below if you like the way their chore routines work. And what my husband and I did, actually my husband did this, is he laminated it for me so I can just continue to use the same one year after year. And then they can also use dry erase markers to check things off instead of having to reprint one all the time. So this works really well for us. And what I do is I just use this stuff that I get at the dollar store called Awesome and spray it down when I want to redo it, and it wipes pretty easily off. I have to add a little elbow grease, I guess, but it's not too bad. It's nice and easy and it works well for us. But even if you use a different chore chart or you make your own, just the laminating makes it really nice and you aren't having to constantly reprint a new chore sheet. Before I started doing this video, I did take a picture of this. I've made the mistake in the past of not taking a picture, and then I kind of forget the order and I end up having to redo it a couple of times. So make sure you take a picture before you wipe it off if you are doing it this way. So there we have it, almost as good as new, and they've been using these ones for 3 or 4 years now, I can't even remember. If you aren't planning on redoing your chore charts like I do this once a year just to kind of refresh everything and make sure all the chores are up to date with what is appropriate and challenging for each child. But if you don't plan on doing that, if you just want to keep reusing the same chores every year, you could write them down before you laminate, and then you don't have to worry about, sometimes things do end up getting smudged and I have to rewrite a specific chore here and there. But what I'll be doing is writing the chores themselves in Sharpie on top of the lamination, and then they just use dry erase markers to fill in the check boxes. So I like to put my kids' chores straight into their morning and evening routine to keep it nice and easy and make it so they just are in the habit of doing chores. I think that's much easier than having it at random times every day. But that's just what works for us. Obviously, do it however you need to do it. So I will be showing in this video my 6-year-old's full morning and evening routines and how the chores fit into those routines. So the first thing that will be on hers is brush your teeth and drink water. The next thing that I have on her list is make your bed and tidy your room. They are supposed to tidy their room before they go to bed, but sometimes there isn't time, so it's just good to start the day with a tidy room, in my opinion. I am also using the Sharpie fine point pen. I had a hard time when I was using regular Sharpies to actually fit enough words on here and to make it small enough to fit everything that I needed to, all of those things. So I found the fine point pens work better if you are wanting to do something similar for your kids' chore charts. Then I have get dressed and put PJs away. Then I had on her list after that, start the washer. But if you watched my last video, you realize that is going to be now mine and my toddler's chore for this coming year. So I won't be putting that down, but I am going to put help make breakfast. I am still working on, I had mentioned in the last chore video that my goal was to really get my kids being proactive about helping in the kitchen and then also cleaning up after meals. I have definitely seen an improvement, but I also definitely think there could be more improvement in that area. So I'm going to keep that on their lists for the coming year as well. So everyone will have help make breakfast on their list and then help clean up after breakfast as well. And the next thing I had on the list was devotions, memory verse, and prayer. I'm tempted to not put that on the checklist just because of how our routine is now, where I'm doing the devotions, memory verse, prayer time, all of that while the kids are eating. So it's not necessarily something, yes, I think it's great for them to do it on their own, but I have just found that it works a little bit better, especially for the younger ones, to just do it all at the same time and make sure that everyone's on the same page with all the things that they are doing with that. So I don't know. I think I'll keep it on there for this year and just to kind of, as a reminder for all of us to do it during that time. But it's not necessarily something that I need the kids to remember to do. It's more something I need to remember to do at this point with how we have things set up. Okay, and then after that, I had on her list switch laundry. Again, that is mine and the little guy's chore now, so she doesn't need to worry about that. And then I am going to put help clean up after breakfast. And I believe it will be morning chore time for her. It sometimes works a little better if one of my girls is practicing their instrument while the other one is doing their morning chore, and then they switch. But the problem with trying to schedule it that way is typically they both want to practice a lot longer than the chore time takes. So I think I'll just keep it as is on here, and we can work that out on a day-to-day basis. I will put morning chore next for her on the list, and then I will put practice her violin. Then after that, the clothes should be ready to fold, and I will put fold clothes. Now, mainly the goal is to have the kids all fold their own clothes, but I am also trying to, I guess, have them help a little bit more or be a little bit more proactive about folding the clothes. It's often a thing of if they don't see a certain thing that is theirs, they're just not going to do it. And also if something isn't theirs, they're not going to do it, which I guess is how I've kind of had it set up in the past. But there are some times, especially now as the kids are getting older and we are running between a lot more activities, that I need a little help. And sometimes people need to be able to help fold clothes that aren't just theirs. So my thought is for this year that once we are done with all of the other things, we will all get to the laundry room and just fold the clothes together, everyone just kind of working at it until it's more or less done, especially with removing some of those other daily things like starting the laundry and things like that. I think they can help just a little bit more with folding the clothes. I don't need them to do all of it, and I'm a much faster folder than them, so they're not going to be doing the majority of it by any means. But you know, even just being able to fold someone else's things here and there, or maybe match socks while I'm folding other things, just help out a little bit instead of having a very, if it's not mine, I'm not going to touch it attitude when it comes to the clothes. So I'm just going to put fold clothes instead of fold your clothes. And then what will we do after that? Help make lunch and help clean up lunch. Then I will put still on here bonus. If they get the check marks for every day, they can get a bonus, which is just a little extra thing that we do. I go into more detail on that in a different video. If you want to check that out, I will link it in the cards and then down below. But for now, I am going to show you also how I distinguish the morning chores and kind of help them keep track of which chores go on which days. I don't tend to have a specific Sunday chore. If we are around, they will help out with the tidying up, but our Sundays vary a lot, and some days we aren't home at all. So I try not to have a specific chore on Sunday because I don't like starting the week off feeling behind. But then if we are home, we will do something like tidying or something like that. But it's not a specific Sunday chore for my kids. I will start with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I will just do one of those guys. I don't know what those are called. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah. And I will just make a little arrow so that they know this is where the more specifics are for their morning chore. So I am thinking through, we were discussing this earlier. I typically have my kids very involved with which chores they are doing for the year, because I figure if somebody has a preference, why not? And if somebody has one that they hate that someone else is willing to do, again, why not? So They've decided which ones they want to do and which ones will be their responsibilities, but I want to make sure that it makes sense and meshes with what our week looks like. The girls also were reminding me that there's one extra that doesn't happen every single week. I still like having it on here for when it needs to be done, but it doesn't happen every single week, and that is making bread. So I've had it on here for the past several years, and we will often end up skipping weeks because we still have bread or things like that. So I'm just looking to see if there is one other that she would be able to do. Taking out the trash would be a good one. I'm looking on I have this chores by age idea list, and sometimes it's helpful when I need to think of an extra chore. I like them to do some chore every day and just be helping out in some capacity or another. So I think I have taking out the trash. Oh, I had that for 8 to 9-year-olds, but she could totally do that. That would be a good one for her. Extra one that I needed. Thursday is make bread if needed. I'm gonna kind of put that in parentheses because that's not going to be every week. And then I'll put one of the other ones on that day. Tuesday will need to be take out trash because our trash goes out on Wednesdays. Monday will be clean the bathroom. She's in charge of the downstairs bathroom, and that one actually gets done twice a week because it is used the most. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one on Monday and Friday. Then she has vacuumed the stairs on Wednesday. Should she dust on Wednesday? Vacuum on Thursday. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of organizing this as we already figured out what she would be doing earlier, but now I'm just making it match the week. So some days we have a lot going on and their chores need to be nice and quick, and other days it's not a big deal if it's not. So on Thursday, if she's not making bread, she will vacuum the stairs. And I'm also adding this year to vacuuming the stairs because that takes about 5 minutes. That's one reason she always says, I'll do that, is I'm going to actually add in wiping down the banisters as well, just with this cleaning stuff that I get at the dollar store. It works amazing. It just wipes off any hand smudges and dirt and anything else, and they just wipe down the banisters on both sides. That hasn't been a weekly chore in the past, but again, I think it could be now that they're getting a little bit older. So vacuum stairs, wipe banisters. So that's how that looks. And when you are assigning your kids chores for the week, I do just recommend that you match it with your weekly schedule. Don't give them a lot to do if they already have a really busy day, but just keep it nice and easy. So cleaning the bathroom, on Monday, it's really just a bit of a wipe down because she already cleaned it on Friday, and we're typically pretty busy over the weekends, so it won't be super dirty and it'll just be kind of a refresh for the week. Tuesday, we'll be taking out the trash. Wednesday, we'll be dusting upstairs. Thursday, vacuuming the stairs and wiping the banisters. And then Friday, cleaning the bathrooms. I really like for my kids to have a combination of daily chores that they do pretty much every day, like the helping with the meals and cleaning up after the meals, and then something that is weekly and more rotates throughout the week. I just think it's a good practice for them because that's how life works. There's always going to be some things that we have to do every single day, and then there's going to be some things that only need to be done once a week or once every other week. Now, I had help make dinner on here. We have gone to a different swim team, and even before with swim team, it was just a challenge for them to help with that because typically they will be at swim team and one of us will stay home to get dinner ready and all of that stuff so that they can start eating as soon as they get home because it is in the evening. So I have it on here. I like it when they are home to help, but most of the week it isn't going to work out for them to do that. So I'm trying to decide if I keep it on here or if I just keep the cleanup after dinner. And I think that is what I will do. Honestly, for the days when they are home during that making dinner time, they're often playing together, hanging out with my husband or things like that, and kind of just having some family time while I'm cooking. And I actually sometimes kind of like just being able to cook while they're all doing something different. So I think I am going to take that one off. They're already helping with making breakfast and lunch, and we will just start the evening routine with that family worship, which we do during dinner, and then have on there for them to help clean up after dinner, then put on PJs, and put clothes away, brush your teeth, and tidy room and get in bed. Then I do also down at the bottom of this one put bonus. Now, the bonus in the morning is a lot more free. They can kind of choose whatever they want, you know, if they want to paint their nails or if they want to have a tea party or whatever. I don't really care what it is. The goal is just to get them through their checklists quickly and efficiently. But in the evening, it doesn't really make sense to have it be so open-ended, and we tend to do things like either they can read to themselves in bed for 15 minutes, or I will read an extra story to them, or things like that if they're able to get in bed quickly and help clean up and all of those things. So that is how her checklist looks now. If you are interested in learning how to implement chores in your house and when to do it, how to tailor it to all of your other routines and things that you have going on in your life, check out my program, Total Home Transformation, where I walk you all the way through decluttering to setting up your routines, creating a meal plan, and a budget. So if you have felt like you would like to get your home in order and really be able to stay on top of your home management, definitely check that program out. I am so excited about it. It has been my goal basically to create this program ever since I started years ago. And it is so amazing for me to now be able to see the students in both of the first two groups having huge success inside the program. And it's just been so fun to meet the students in the coaching calls and things like that. So I would love to help you transform your home as well if that is something you are interested in. And I would love to hear in the comments down below what is on your 6-year-old's chore checklist for 2025. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next one.